Hello again, welcome to my channel. This is the Integrated Life with Carisha. I am Carisha Angus, a licensed master social worker, and as we continue on this journey, I want to start off by continuing with identifying your current season. As I don't believe that life is balanced, I think it's more of an integration when it is done in a way that is beneficial to both the mothers, the sisters, the aunt, women in general who carry the mental load, sometimes the physical load, the financial load of the entire household. I believe in seasons. As the earth has, springtime and harvest time, winter and summer, I think as a woman we have seasons. And in this episode, I want to talk about that. So first off, I want you to identify what season of your life you're in. Are you in the building phase? Are you in the relax phase? Are you in the, I don't know what season this is. It's just a whole lot of everything. You can have the opportunity to pause and just reflect. This episode, talk, conversation is about identifying that. For you as a mother, for me as a mother, worker, entrepreneur, a business person, stay-at-home mother, teacher, doctor, Indian chief, whatever your position is, identify where you are. Locating your current position is the starting point of creating the integrated life. It is said that, you are not necessarily aware of where you are going if you don't realize where you start. The starting point is important. Where you're going is important, but you need to know where you're starting from to see, okay, how do I set the pace? How do I create a rhythm? How do I formulate a plan to get me to where my intended target destination is? And I'm talking about Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday. That's your start point, your end point, depending on your job, your work schedule. It may be different. So the first thing is to identify what current of season are you in. And along with that is to also recognize, is this current season causing me to feel a sense of wanting to have it all? I want to do it all right now. And I touched on that in previous episodes, our previous talk, about the trap that provides, or the unrealistic expectation for when you're wanting to do it all, you're wanting to have it all right now. The anxiety, the frustration, the loathsome thoughts that one can have if it is turned inward, where I am not good enough, I don't do things right, I can't complete a task. But I would like to push back on that, whether or not it's you cannot complete the task, or does your capacity is just not enough for what you are dealing with. You have the capacity to do a lot of things, but do you have the capacity to do all things all at the same time? You're responsible for some things, you're responsible for many things, but do you have the capability to do all of it one time? And I would suggest and encourage that if you do an inventory of, say, list all of the things that you are responsible for, and then have a true conversation with yourself about, am I capable of doing all of this within the time frame that I have given myself, that I have allotted to say I am going to do this by Tuesday, and it is Monday at 3 o'clock. are you setting yourself up for failure? And failure means you determine that that's a failure. I didn't see that coming. I can't believe I didn't do this right. It is more of, I'm going to set myself up to complete as much things I can within the time limit that I have, so I can know, okay, what else is left to do, or to replenish, or to reserve some time to do other things. And I am a book person, I am a list person. You may not be, but I tend to do a list, a to-do list of what it is I want to accomplish. I am also a turn the page person, right? So if on this page it didn't take place, okay, that's okay. I'll do it tomorrow. I do not hold myself hostage to the day. We prioritize, and as we go along, I'll talk to you about the system that I use to prioritize what needs to be done. Just like in school, elementary school, middle school, college, university, there was always a due date for every assignment. And depending on how long you took to do that, will either give you more time before the due date, or you will be rushing when the due date is slowly, quickly approaching. And I would encourage that this week, take inventory of what my responsibilities are. Do I have the capacity to complete all this within the time frame I am giving myself? Because the understanding of an integrated life is that majority of what we do within our home, because we are the architect, we are the gatekeepers, we are the engineers, is what we determine. There isn't a boss or someone, a taskmaster. We have become our own taskmaster, and therefore we can shift that. We can determine, okay, this is when I do this, because I want this to be accomplished, this to be accomplished. And as you do that, you will see that it will allow you the option to flow. It allows you the room to maneuver, and you set the pace to calm your nervous system down, because you're going to look at all the things that you have decided to do. Some things are priority. The kids need to go to the doctor, they need to go to school, they need to make sure they brush their teeth, that dinner needs to be cooked. Okay, how am I going to align that with the time I have? How am I going to plan that out? Like I said, I am a big writer. I am to-do list. Keeping a track of what is next. Some people say that is too rigid, so you do you. How do you keep your flow without the rigidity, without the constraint, but at the same time you have a rhythm? Because even if you don't write everything down with A, B, C, and sub A, sub B, and asterisk here or this, you still have a rhythm to things. It may be a slow rhythm, a fast rhythm. I don't see the rhythm, I'm off rhythm, but there's still a pattern of behavior that we all function in. And so this week, I would like for you to inventory, take stock, audit your mommy duties, wife duties, worker duty, business owner duty, and see how are these aligned with what I am envisioning to be completed within the week, and do I have the capacity to do that? Not necessarily that you're going to complete it all, but that you know what comes next. Because I think a lot of times the anxiousness we feel and the overwhelmed feeling is because we feel as if we're running out of time. And it's not that we're running out of time, it's that the time we have does not give space to complete all the stuff we have determined to do. Because once we start to understand that we are in control of our own lives, it is not being done to us. we are making the choice. Sometimes it is a difficult choice, but it's a choice nonetheless that we have to make. And therefore, when we sit, like I say, I do well with books. So Dollar Tree, every year I get about maybe 10 of this, and all it says on it, it's about stuff. I keep a rubber band of where I am, and I go through it. I keep a rubber band of where I am going. I put a list. I have a target of December, I want this to be done. January, I want this to be done. And then as I go on, I make adjustment, because it may not happen within the time frame that I have allotted, and I give myself grace, because it is not necessarily the completion of all tasks all the time. It's that, am I enjoying my life? Are you enjoying your life, your children, your work, your environment, your husband, your friend group? Are you enjoying it? Because a lot of the stress and the anxiety is also because we find ourselves not enjoying the moment. And as I spoke about previously, about wanting to be there instead of right here, we rob ourselves of right now. So this week, get a book, legal pad, loose leaf paper, on your phone, in the notes section, and just inventory. Mommy audit. I have this to do. I want to do this. I have to go to the dry cleaners, the grocery shopping. The house needs cleaning. The bags need packing away. The kids need to be taken to the dentist. I need to go on date night. I need to go to the gym. I need to do all of this. And then a lot of time. And then see if your capacity and your responsibility, do they conflict? Do they merge? Or do you have to configure? Because again, you are the architect of your own life, and you determine what it is that you're wanting to see flourish, grow, and everything. And what are the areas in your week, this week, in your life, what, after you do the audit of your responsibilities and your capacity, just think, what are the areas that I can adjust my expectation, that I can think about in a different way, or put it in a different category, because everything is not an emergency. Sometimes we feel as if it is, but it is not. And it is for you to recognize, is this a true emergency, or do I just want this to be done now? And be honest. It could just mean you want it to be done now. And then okay, I want it to be done now. But it may take more energy, more time. You may get less sleep. You may not have enough time for the kids playing around, or to take the kids here, or to go on the date night. And you have to adjust that. And when you make the adjustment, do it with joy. Do it with so much joy and so much knowing that this is the best thing for me right now. Okay, we'll do that. So just to recap, I want you to do the mommy audit or the daddy audit. You may be tuning into this channel because someone sent it to you. You like the vibe or what I'm saying. Inventory, the sister audit, the friend audit. What am I committing myself to? The responsibilities versus my capability. And once you recognize what you're capable of doing, then you can then say, okay, now what can I adjust my expectation? How can I adjust the expectation I have of my own self and make this less stressful without any anxiety or feeling of overwhelmed? because as we continue on this journey about seasons of life, integration of both work life and home life and friend life and all the lives that we occupy, and integrating it into a oneness, because we are not divided. We compartmentalize, we section, but we are whole. We are a whole being, and we show up as such. How do we come fully present, but understanding our capacity versus our responsibility, and for that to be integrated without it being overwhelming? So tune in next time and let's continue the conversation. Let me know what you found. What have you thought that, oh, okay, I can pivot here, I can adjust. It's not the end of the world if I don't do this. And then let's continue the conversation. Enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, this is the Integrated Life with Carisha. Thank you. Join me next time. Like, share, and subscribe.